everyone, this is Wrinkle here from Creative Hands Studio, and as you can see this is my studio space, so welcome. I have planned an oil pastel lesson today. I want to show you how to do the blending using oil pastels, and this is especially in our memory for Skagit Valley Tulip Festival. It happens every year during this time, and this year unfortunately it's not going to happen because of the COVID-19 situation that we are all in, but I really hope that you enjoy making these at home, and you can create different types of tulips with different colors in different composition, like it can be a vase or whatever you like. Okay, so we will get started with the tulips. So I'm going to show you just one flower, like just really one flower, how to draw. So we start with mainly an oval, and then you can add another oval on the side and then some portion between the two. So we want to show like the petals little bit opening up, and then we are adding sort of a pointed area on the top and then rounded area on the bottom, and then this is the petal on the back, and this can be the space between the inside of the flower. Now to add the stem, we pick 2 points, and as it can be a little bit slanted or that side, it depends on you, but it will be a little bit thicker than the top. So we make the points and then we join them. This is the easiest way to make a stem. I made it little bit thinner compared to the point because I realized that it was too thick, so I made it little bit thinner. And then we are adding some leaves. They are more like a linear curves, little bit S shaped and little bit just curves for the leaves. And then you can add more tulips or different types of tulips as you develop your work, but I want to show you the shading part today. Okay, so once we have the shapes ready, I am using Sargent oil pastels, which are like 25 shades. I am going to take some shades of red, little bit lighter shades, so like white, this is light peach, light purple and dark purple, and some pink and gray. So these are all the shades that I have used for the artwork that I showed you before. So it's not just one color, but it's like sort of many colors together. So we start with the lightest color first, so little bit of white, and I am coloring in sort of like a back and forth way. So I'm not making just one line, so that's no, we are going back and forth and adding some white. And the idea is that the light is coming from this side, so this is going to be the lighter part, but then we will see a lot of shadow on this side, on the bottom part and on the back side. Also, before you start coloring, please make sure your pencil lines are a little bit lighter, because these pastels, they mix with the graphite of the pencil and they create the gray shade instead of keeping the white. Okay, especially when we are using the white oil pastel. So for me, it's already started to turn gray because the graphite of my pencil is mixing with my white oil pastel. So in ideal situation, we don't want that, so you can erase the lines and make it really light. Okay, the next is we are starting with the pink, very light pink, and again I'm going back and forth, and we are adding pink on two sides, and then on this one, because it's a half petal, it's only on one side, and then little bit darker than the light pink, we are going to the light purple, And again we are using the back and forth, back and forth. If your oil pastels are not really good quality, they will not blend. So I really recommend using a good quality oil pastels. I'm starting with the purple now, and it's the same technique. We go back and forth, and I'm using purple next to the pink. So we have purple. I'm going to use some gray for the inside part of the flower, followed with some light peach, and then in the end I am taking a lighter shade of red and really making a shape of the petal that we started with first in the first go, and adding some here, and then finally the dark red, and try to put that wherever the paper is there. So I want to make sure the whole paper is covered with the color. Where you see it's white, it's a white oil pastel, so we are making sure that all the parts of the flower has some color on it. So once we have this, I'm taking some paper towel, and I have used this before, so it's a little bit messy, but we look for a clean surface, and we are trying to blend these shades together. And I'm using it in the same direction that I did my coloring, so it's easy for the colors to blend with each other. This also gives some nice new shades by mixing the shades that we have, and makes the flower look realistic. So I would say this is like sort of a first coat, and then we start adding the shade part. So as we talked before, like the shadow is here in the bottom part of the, so I'm using a very dark blue and adding some lines. This time we are adding lines, we are not doing the back and forth, adding some lines to make it nice and dark. And then I'm taking a little bit lighter shade and just adding a line at where the stem is. So I want to show you how we are going to color the stem and the leaves also, and we are using the blue first to just sort of trace all the lines that we had drawn with the pencil. So coming back here, I'm blending that blue with the red to make it little bit sort of magenta, dark red magenta color, to get that shadow effect in the bottom part of the flower. And I'm doing the same thing at the edge also. We can also blend with the finger, so you can try if that works for you, but we want to keep it separate. We want to keep the dark shading separate than the lighter shading. So I'm using my another finger for the different shades. So coming to the, so you can see now. If you don't like certain areas, you can go back and add some new shades and fill up with the new shades and then blend in if you need it, blend in with the paper. So coming back to the stem, we are going to use some shades of green. So I have like a light green, dark green, and then this is like a grayish green sort of a color. And also we are going to use the white. Now if your white has a pink or red sticking on it, please wipe it with your paper towel, and then the first step is you can add some white only in one, like in a one line near the blue. So that is going to be the lightest part of the stem. I want to show you what type of stem I am going to show. So this is what we are aiming for. I should keep it here like this so you can see. Okay. Okay, I think this is much better. Okay, so we come back. So I already had the line of white, and then I am taking the dark green and going over the line of blue. So this gives us a really dark green, sort of a deep green, which is otherwise it was not there in this oil pastel set, but we mixed the blue and green to get that shade, like really dark deep sort of green. And then I'm bringing my lighter green, we are going back and forth, and then some grayish green. So I applied all the shades in all the areas, and then we come back with our paper towel, and then first we are blending the stem part together. We are blending the stem part, and then we are blending the leaf part. So one thing I will request you is that when you sit down to make this artwork, don't try to get it right, but what you want to look for is try and see how your colors are blending. Try and see how you like oil pastels or you don't like oil pastels, and take it as an experiment, and figure out or discover for yourself how it works for you. So once we have all the shades in, the last part is that we can show more shaded part, as you can see here, and even in the flowers we can show the shaded part by adding some black, not too much black. So I want to show some shade here because that's the part between the petals, so I'm adding some lines there. I'm also going to show some shade in the bottom of the flower, so I'm adding some lines there, and then I'm adding some lines in the closed portion of the leaf, and here on this side where the leaf is sort of twisting, and then gently blending that black with the other shades of the flower. I'm also going to add some black in the stem, and then gently blend it. So this one is a really quick way of blending oil pastels and trying out different shades together and mixing them and seeing for yourself what you like and what you don't like. Okay, so I did this really quick, but I would like you to take some time, try out your blending with the oil pastels and see what comes up for you. Okay, I hope you liked this video, and I look forward to seeing the pictures of what you made. Okay, thank you, stay safe, have fun, bye.